All right, let's dive in. It feels like we've all just gotten our heads around generative AI, right? Well, buckle up, because the next massive wave of technology is already crashing ashore, and it's called Agentic AI. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that means, why it's such a monumental leap forward, and how it's literally set to rewrite the entire playbook for how businesses operate.
To really get the impact here, you have to appreciate the sheer, blistering speed of what's happening. Just look at this timeline. The gaps between these huge tech shifts are shrinking like crazy. We had a whole decade for the internet to mature, then the cloud, then mobile. But the jump from generative AI exploding onto the scene in 2023 to the rise of agentic AI today, that's happening in the blink of an eye. And let's be clear, this isn't just another update. It's the next major era of technology, and it's showing up faster than anything we've ever seen before.
So what is agentic AI really? The core idea is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. We're talking about AI systems that can take autonomous actions to achieve goals. Now, the key word there, the absolute game changer, is actions. We are shifting from an AI that just answers our questions or maybe generates some content to an AI that can actually go out and do things on its own.
So, what really makes an AI agent? It's not just one thing, it's a whole cocktail of new capabilities. First up, it has to be goal-driven. You give it a clear objective. Then, it's got to have autonomy to actually act on its own without you holding its hand. And here's the really cool part. It operates in this constant loop of reasoning and acting, thinking, doing, checking its work, and then adjusting its plan. And crucially, it can use tools, real-world tools, to execute complex, multi-step plans to nail that goal.
This is probably the best analogy to lock this in your brain. Think of the generative AI we know and love as a brilliant intern. It's an amazing co-pilot, super helpful, but it's reactive. It waits for you to give it a specific task. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is the project manager. It's proactive. You don't give it a task, you give it an outcome. You say, hey, resolve all our Tier 1 customer support tickets this week. And it just goes. It figures out the steps, uses the tools, and gets the job done all by itself.
So, how do these things actually work? Let's pop the hood and look at the anatomy. It all starts with the brain. This is usually a large language model, an LLM, and it's the core intelligence, the command center. It's the reasoning engine that lets the agent understand a complex goal and then create a strategic plan to get there.
Okay, but a brain can't operate in a vacuum, right? An agent needs sensors. These are its inputs from the real world, its perception layer. This could be anything, a brand new customer service ticket popping into the system, real-time stock market data streaming in, or a new email landing in an inbox. This is how the agent actually perceives what's going on around it and knows when it needs to act.
And this is where the magic really happens. The muscles. These are the tools the agent uses to actually interact with the world and get things done. We're talking about its ability to call APIs, to grab data, to go into a database and update a customer's record, or to fire off a notification email. This is how the agent's plan becomes a reality.
And finally, the piece that ties it all together is the goal. Every single agent is defined by its objective. It's the North Star for everything it does. Whether that goal is to optimize a global supply chain or simply resolve a customer's billing issue, this is the driving force behind every single thought, perception, and action the agent takes.
Okay, so we've got the tech down, but what does this all actually mean for how we work? Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just an IT upgrade. We're talking about a fundamental shift in jobs, teams, and entire organizations.
This really nails the big shift for all of us. It's not about humans being replaced, it's about our roles being elevated. We move away from the repetitive, hands-on execution. So instead of manually processing a mountain of invoices, your new job is to design the AI agent that does it, supervise its performance, and then you only step in for the really tricky, high-stakes exceptions that absolutely need human judgment. Our jobs are going to shift from doing the work to designing and governing the systems that do the work.
Now, of course, with any powerful new technology, there is a ton of hype and some very real risks we have to talk about. It's absolutely essential to approach this with a clear, critical perspective. So let's get into how to navigate the messy realities of all this.
So what are the big hurdles we need to watch out for? This table lays them out perfectly. I mean, how can you trust an agent's decision if you can't see its reasoning? That's why you have to build in explainability. And who's on the hook when it messes up? You have to define crystal clear ownership and escalation paths from day one. To manage all this, things like applying strict guardrails and always keeping a human in the loop for critical tasks, well, that's completely non-negotiable. And all this hype brings us to a brand new term you need to get on your radar:
Agent washing. Just like greenwashing, this is when companies basically lie about their AI's capabilities. They'll slap the agent label on a simple chatbot or a basic script just to ride the marketing wave. And this is a huge problem because it creates totally unrealistic expectations and can lead to really bad investments and big failed projects.
So how do you avoid getting agent washed? This right here is your checklist, your 5-step playbook. 1. Question the actual capabilities. Ask them, can it really plan and use tools on its own? 2. Demand transparent demos, not just some slick pre-recorded video. 3. Focus on measurable business outcomes, not the buzzwords. 4. Educate your team on what's real and what's not. And 5, most importantly, adopt this tech responsibly with strong governance baked in from the very beginning.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. Now that you know what a true AI agent can do, if you could hire one for your team, right now, today, what is the very first task you would give it? Because the answer to that question, that might just be the future of your job.